Aloha and welcome to Breath and Flow Yoga. Today is about a 45-minute practice where we will be working through some breath work and then doing some gentle vinyasa flow. My name is Katie and this here is my assistant Bradley. And all you'll need today is your mat and something nice and comfortable to sit on. If you don't have that and you're comfortable on your mat, that's totally fine too. But if you do have a blanket or a pillow or something that will give you a comfortable seated position, go ahead and grab that now. So we'll get started in our comfortable cross-legged position. So you can come into a half lotus or full lotus if that's comfortable for you as well. Come to seated on your pillow or blankets. Get comfortable, close your eyes. Find your tall seat. And as you close your eyes, just begin to bring your mind's eye to your physical self. So just notice and observe your posture in this moment. So as you are in this seated position, really ground in towards your sits bones. So feel the seat beneath you. Begin to pull up and in through your low belly, aligning your spine. Pull in through the lower ribs, but then also open through your heart. So your shoulders draw down and away from the ears. It's like you're pulling your shoulder blades towards one another. As you lift up through the crown of the head, let your chin be parallel with the earth. So there's a nice space from the chest to the chin, giving a nice openness through the throat and the neck. There's a softness through the face, so if you do feel that there's any tension through the jaw, feel free to unhinge through the jaw and stretch through the face, maybe even lift your eyebrows up towards your hairline and then release them back down to just relax any tension that might be in the face. And then bring your mind's eye a little bit deeper in towards the mind space and just notice what kind of thoughts are going through the mind in this moment? What kind of excess chit-chat is going on in the brain? And oftentimes there's a lot of things going on in the mind. So just take this time to pick them out one by one and leave them at the door. Allow this 45-minute practice to really be about clearing your mind and recentering. So let's begin to focus on our breath. First, we'll take a few breaths in the nose and then we'll exhale out the mouth. So beginning your inhale in, deep breath in through the nose, fill your belly. So breathe all the way down to your base. Let it go through the mouth. You can even make this exhale breath audible. Deep breath in through your nose. Fill your belly, fill your lungs. Exhale out, audible release. Good, one more time, just like that. Big breath in through the nose. Fill your belly full like a balloon. Let it go, fully exhale all that breath out. So now we're going to control our breath in and out through the nose and the nose only. So as you inhale in, imagine that breath drawing all the way in through the nostrils, hitting the back of the throat all the way down through the heart space and filling your belly up like a balloon, full breath into that diaphragm. And as you exhale out through the nose, imagine that breath smoothly releasing out just as evenly as it came in. Good, so that breath in through the nose. Fill the belly, drink that breath all the way up, fill your cup, and exhale, gently release that breath out, pour from your cup smooth as it came in. So you want those inhales to be equal to your exhales in length, in depth. Good, big breath in through the nose, fill your belly, fill your lungs, drink your breath all the way up to the top of your throat. Exhale, release that breath out, smooth as it came in. And begin to create that gentle constriction in the back of the throat, our Ujjayi breathing, victorious breath, also described as an oceanic sound in the back of the throat with that gentle constriction in and that gentle constriction as the breath flows out, creating equal inhales and equal exhales, controlling our breathing, allowing the body to switch off that fight or flight and move into the parasympathetic nervous system, allowing yourself to rest, digest, and come into more of a meditative state. Continue breathing in through the nose, all the way down to your base. Imagine that breath traveling in, filling your lungs. And imagine that breath flowing out, emptying everything out, grounding. Inhale deep and feel that energy, that life force through the breath. Maybe even pause at the top of your breath just for a moment. And as you exhale out, fully release that breath and maybe even pause at the bottom of the breath with empty breath before you begin that next big inhale in through the nose, deep into the belly, open through the rib cage all the way up to the top of the throat. Pause. Exhale, release from the throat, from the rib cage, from the belly, all the way out. Pause at the bottom, empty breath. Notice the feeling. Inhale, begin your next breath all the way down to the base of the belly. Fill up through the lungs, all the way up to the top of the throat. Pause at the top, suspend the breath. Feel that lightness. And then exhale, let it completely go all the way out. Bottom of the breath, pause. So continue your own breath in and out through the nose throughout our practice. Continue to breathe with your movements, letting your breath come into your belly. And let's begin to move. So as you come onto your mat, if you had a pillow or a blanket, go ahead and shift that over to the side. We're going to be primarily on the mat now. So we're actually going to start in a seated position down on the ground. And we're taking our legs out wide. So extend your legs out wide, flex through your feet. So engage those legs, flex through your feet, ground through your sits bones. So for some of you, you might be right here with your hands right behind your hips, and you'll just press your hips forward as you open your heart forward, shoulders roll down and away, lengthening up through the spine. And you may feel a lot of stretch through your inner thighs just right here. If you know you want a little bit more through this stretch, inhale, let's reach our arms up towards the sky, look up, lengthen through those arms. And then as you exhale, begin to hinge forward, hovering over the earth, reach out at a diagonal. Keep those feet flexed, keep your thighs spiraling back. And then slowly make your way, maybe even reaching out towards the earth out in front of you, palms face down. Reach through your heart, shoulders back, keep those feet engaged, keep those legs engaged. Relax through the head and neck once you find that nice sweet spot as you fold forward. Deep breath in, lift just slightly through the heart, shoulders back. And then as you exhale, melt your heart closer down towards the mat or the earth. Relax your head and neck. Use your breath to get deeper into this pose. So your inhale, you just lift up slightly, reach your heart forward. And your exhale, you'll fold back in. One more breath here. Inhale, lift your heart, shoulders back. And exhale, bow in. Nice. Now let's inhale, reach our arms back up to the sky, flat spine. And as you exhale, take your hands by your sides if they're not already. Take your left foot to the inner right thigh. Turn yourself towards your right toes. So you want to shift your shoulders towards your right toes. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky, extend. Reach forward, hover, just like we did before. Extend through the heart towards the toes. Now I want you to take your right forearm to the inner right shin. Grab a hold of your right foot along the arch.
Roll your left shoulder back so you can use your right elbow to create that leverage. Roll your left shoulder back. Reach your left arm all the way over the crown of your head and look up towards the sky. So in this pose, really make sure that left hip is grounding down. It's more important that you ground through that hip than reach all the way towards that right toe. And then even more so, let that left shoulder roll back so you spiral your heart towards the sky. This is a deep side waist stretch. Big breath in, reach. And exhale, maybe get a little bit deeper. Nice job. Inhale, let's come back up through center. Reach your arms back up towards the sky. And exhale, take your hands by your sides. Use your core. Take your right foot to the inner left thigh. Again, let's turn towards those left toes. Take a breath here. Reach your arms up to the sky. Reach forward. And then begin to take your left forearm to the inner left calf. Grab a hold of the left foot. As you grab a hold, rotate that right shoulder back. Ground through your right hip. Deep breath in as you open through your heart, lengthen over to the left, gaze out past that right bicep, spiral your rib cage open, and let your exhale get you even deeper. It's really nice to use that left elbow as leverage to open your chest towards the sky. So you're emphasizing that right side waist stretch. One more breath here, lengthen, and exhale, reach over. Nice job. Inhale, reach both arms all the way up towards the sky. Exhale, your hands down behind your hips. Shift back, use your core. Take your feet together, knees apart for butterfly pose. Take your hands to interlace around your feet. Roll your shoulders down and away. Reach up through the crown of your head. Take a big breath in here. Let your shoulders peel back. And as you exhale, begin to hinge forward. Let your elbows press your shins away from one another. Lead through your heart so your shoulders will roll down and away as you press your heart towards your toes. Big breath in, lengthen your heart forward. And as you exhale, maybe you melt a little bit deeper in. If you are particularly open in this pose, you can always crawl your hands forward as well. Wherever you feel you are getting the most benefit, stay in that level. Deep breath here, really ground through those hips. And then as you exhale, melt in just a little bit more. Nice job. Inhale, let's rise up. Take your hands behind you, cross your ankles in front, and begin to shift over your knees, coming onto your hands into tabletop position. So in our tabletop position, shoulders are right over the wrists, hips over the knees. Let's begin our cat-cow breathing. Inhale, shoulders back, tailbone to the sky, look up, cow pose. Exhale, curl back up and in, tuck your chin, cat pose, arch through the spine. Big breath in, shoulders back, tailbone high, look up. And exhale, curl back up and in, tuck your chin. Let this feel good through the spine. Move with your breath. Big inhale, shoulders back, tailbone high, look up. And exhale, curl back up and in, tuck your chin. One more round. Inhale, shoulders back, tailbone high, look up. And exhale, curl back up and in, tuck your chin. Okay, let's come back through a neutral spine. Begin to walk your hands up towards your knees. We're going to come to standing on our knees. So I'll face you so that you can see. You can even turn on your mat if it's more comfortable for your knees or your space. Take your hands to your hips, shoulders back, lift through your heart, and extend your right leg out to the right. Take your toes to point forward. Outer blade of the foot is grounded down. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Now as you exhale, reach down your right leg. Roll your left shoulder back. So getting that side waist stretch. Gaze up towards the sky. Good. Inhale, reach your arms back up to the sky. Now as you exhale, left hand down towards the earth. Reach over to the left. Roll your right shoulder back. Feel that length all the way down to your pinky toe on your right side. Good. Now inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Take your hands back towards your hips. Turn your left toes towards the right arch of your foot. So you kind of just turn your knee on your knee, taking your toes towards that right arch. Now gently begin to slide that right foot back, all the way back until you're seated on that heel. You should feel a deep stretch in that inner thigh. Deep breath in. You can always have your hands on the earth for support as well. Good. Now let's slowly come back up. Take your hands down, drag that right knee back up. And we'll switch sides. Hands to your hips. Take your left foot out to the left. So I have my whole foot down on the earth, toes point in the same direction as my hips and face. Okay, big breath in. Let's take our arms up towards the sky, reach up. And as you exhale, take your left arm down by your side, reach over to the left, roll your right shoulder back. Lengthen through that right side waist. Gaze up. Good. Inhale, reach back up through center. Exhale, right hand down by your side on the earth. Tense your fingers and reach over in the opposite direction. So really feel length all the way out through your left hand, all the way down to that left pinky toe. Good. Inhale, rise back up through center. Take your hands to your hips. Now just turn your right toes towards the left arch of your left foot. Gently begin to slide that left foot out. Come to seated on your right heel. So you should feel this in your hips and your inner thigh. Come to your degree. If at any point you say, okay, this is where I'm staying today, this feels good, stay right there. And that's your pose. Deep breath in. You can always have those hands for support on the earth as well. Good, now let's come back up through center. Use your hands to pull that left knee back up and in. Let's come back to a neutral tabletop. Big breath here. Now as you exhale, begin to walk your hands forward, melt your heart down towards the earth. Let those shoulders roll down and away as you gaze out between your thumbs. Really let your heart melt towards the ground here. We're gonna stay for another 2 breaths. This is letting our chest expand, our shoulders expand. And all that side waist opening really allows the shoulders to become more free. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Now on your next inhale, let's shift forward onto our forearms. Slide your knees back, pull your heart through for Sphinx pose. So our elbows are just slightly in front of the shoulders, palms down. Create that nice traction through the forearms to pull your heart forward. Chin is parallel with the earth. You should feel a gentle opening through the chest and some nice flexion through the spine. All right, let's begin to lower our heart down. Tent your hands to the outside of your mat. Point those elbows up towards the sky. So you really want your hands out wide for this pose. It'll give you the most freedom of motion as you circle those shoulders side to side. Take your chin towards one shoulder and then the other. Maybe even open through the neck. Twist through the spine. You might hear some crackles and pops. It might feel stiff, and that's okay. Just allow yourself to move into this posture. Open and free the chest, free the shoulders. Side to side. One more big breath. Open through that thoracic spine. And then lower your heart down. Take your left hand underneath your left shoulder. Right arm out like a goalpost at a 90-degree bend. So take your palm to face down. Gently press into your left hand so that you roll towards your right shoulder. So you might just come onto your right hip. You may even just gently lean into that right shoulder. You should feel a deep stretch through the front of that right pectoral muscle. Deep breath here. Deep breath out. Good, let's come back through center onto your belly, opposite side. So take your right hand right underneath your right shoulder. Left arm out in that 90-degree bend. Press into your right hand and begin to roll onto that left shoulder. Gently take your time. Remember, stay only where you feel the posture feels right for you. You'll feel a nice big opening through the front of that left shoulder, opening through the chest. Good, let's come back onto our belly. Take your hands under your shoulders, roll those shoulders back, elbows point back. Inhale, low cobra, baby cobra. And as you exhale, tuck your toes, press your hips back towards your heels. We're gonna pause here just for a moment in this modified child's pose. Take a breath in and a breath out. And one more breath in. Now as you exhale, plant those palms, lengthen your legs, take your hips all the way up towards the sky through downward facing dog. Big breath in here, feel those hips lift high. And as you exhale, settle in. Let's begin to move into a little flow into our downward dog. So as you inhale, shift forward into a high plank pose. So you shouldn't have to move your hands or feet too much to really get into your high plank. Now lower your knees down towards the mat. Just let them hover, not touch the ground. Press your hips back towards your heels. Ground through those palms. And then lift your hips back up towards the sky. Good. Let's flow 2 to 3 more times. Inhale, shift forward, high plank. Knees hover. Exhale, hips to heels. And hips to sky. Inhale, high plank. Knees hover. Exhale, hips to heels. Hips to sky. One more time. Inhale, shift forward, high plank. Knees hover. Hips to heels. And hips to sky on that exhale, downward facing dog. So you can pedal through those feet, still get a little bit comfortable, wake up through the ankles, maybe roll through the feet, maybe bend one knee and then the other or both at the same time. You can even lift a leg to the sky, lift the opposite leg. Just find some nice movements here to work into your downward dog. Maybe even shake your head out, yes and no. Look at your belly button, so you tuck your chin towards your chest, and that really allows the neck to relax. One more big breath in. Now as you exhale, bend your knees, look to the top of your mat. Step your feet all the way up until your feet come between the wrists. Feet or hips width distance. Take an inhale, lengthen your heart halfway up, lift, flat spine. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees, tuck your chin. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, lengthen everything out. Lengthen your heart forward, lengthen your legs, fingertips graze your shins. Exhale, bend your knees, forward fold, tuck your chin. One more time. Inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. Exhale, forward fold, bend your knees, tuck your chin. Relax this time. Grab a hold of opposite elbows, ragdoll arms. Begin to sway from side to side. So really emphasize this sway. A lot of times I give you the option to sway, but this time I want you to sway. I want you to open that side waist. Relax through your head and neck. Ground through those heels. Notice when you sway side to side, how does it feel through the rib cage? How does it feel through the sides of the hips? The piriformis, the hamstrings. What changes as you let the momentum sway side to side? Good. A few more sways. And eventually we will all meet back through center, knees bent deeply. Release your hands down to the earth. Tuck your chin towards your chest. Now as you roll up, take your hands to trace your legs as you roll up to standing. So let your fingertips graze along your shins. Come to your knees. You can even give your legs a little love by massaging the quads. Come all the way up. Let your shoulders shrug up towards your ears. And now take your hands to your low back. Fingers point up. Heels of the hands to the low back, tuck your tailbone down. Lift your heart just gently as you roll your shoulders back, look up towards the sky, and just take that nice gentle back bend. Lift through your collarbones, lift through your chin. Big breath in, look up. Now as you exhale, soften your knees. Take your hands down the backs of your legs this time. So you can even massage along the hamstrings, bend your knees, massage along your calves, give them a little squeeze. and all the way down to your ankles. There's this nice little area along the Achilles that when you take your fingers on either sides and just massage along the backs of the heels towards the earth, it creates a nice grounding and calming sensation. So allow yourself to really grab onto that little Achilles area with your fingers and give yourself a nice little massage. I find this is nice when you are practicing at home because you don't have the adjustments from your teacher, so you can give yourself your own adjustments. Relax your head and neck. Good. Now let's take our hands out in front. Inhale, lengthen just halfway up, lift. And now as you exhale, plant your palms, step your feet back into high plank pose. So keep your shoulders in line with your hips, ground through your palms, press the earth away. This is a strengthening posture through your core. Engage, slight tuck with that tailbone, gaze down between your thumbs. Let's stay with this another 3 breaths. If you need to come to your knees, feel free to come to your knees, but maintain that length through your spine, the hips in line with the shoulders, that tuck of the tailbone. Pull in through your low belly. Just 1 more breath in. Good. Now take your exhale to lower your knees down. Walk your hands forward. Melt your heart down towards the earth. Gaze forward. Puppy dog pose. Inhale, shift forward onto your forearms. Slide your knees back. Sphinx pose. Lift through your heart. Open your heart forward. Exhale, lower your chest. Hands tent to the outside of your mat. Free flowing cobra. Shoulders roll side to side. Circle it out. Work into the shoulders, head and neck. Good, and then lower your chest down. Hands under the shoulders, inhale, lift your heart, low cobra. Exhale, tuck your toes, hips to heels. And then downward facing dog, lift those hips to the sky. Big breath in here. And big breath out. Inhale, take your right leg and reach it up towards the sky. Bend your right knee and let your hips stack open. So feel a nice stretch all the way through that right quadricep, up through the knee. You can even roll your right ankle out. Get some nice stretch and openness through the legs as you square those shoulders out. Big breath in, reach your right knee high. Now as you exhale, hug your right knee towards your chest. Pull it in close, use your core. Place your right foot to the top of your mat. Lower your back knee down. Ground through that right foot. Inhale, rise up into your low lunge. There's a slight tuck of your tailbone as you lift through your heart, shoulders back. Shift your hips forward just slightly to get a little bit deeper in towards that left hip. Big breath in, feel your heart lift up. And as you exhale, open your arms like wings. So just let your arms drop down by your sides. Let the weight of your arms pull the shoulders down and away from the ears as you look up towards the sky. Sink those hips low, but still lift through your heart. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up towards the sky. Now as you exhale, take your hands down towards the earth. Shift your hips back. Flex your right foot. Take an inhale, lengthen halfway up, lift. And exhale, heart towards your toes. Relax your head and neck. We're going to flow with our breath. So inhale, lift your heart towards your toes. And exhale, melt your heart forward towards your leg. One more time. Inhale, lift your heart, shoulders back. Exhale, melt in towards your leg. All right, now this time as you inhale, lift up, shift forward, tuck your back toes, send your right leg all the way back up to the sky, 3-legged dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg rises up high, bend your left knee, stack your hips open. Maybe even roll that left ankle out. Keep your shoulders squared off. Big breath, reach that left knee high. And exhale, hug your left knee towards your chest, pull it in close, and place your left foot to the top of your mat. Lower your right knee down. Inhale, rise into your low lunge, relax your shoulders, down your back. There's a slight tuck of your tailbone so that you're tucking in and pulling up through the low belly. As you have that slight tuck, you get a little bit lower. Press your hips towards the earth, lift up through your heart, inhale. And as you exhale, open your arms like wings. Let your shoulders roll down and away from the ears. Lift through your heart space. Sink those hips low as you lift through your heart. Good. Inhale, reach your arms back up towards the sky. Hands towards the earth. Shift your hips back. Flex your left foot. Half splits. Flow with your breath. So inhale, lengthen your heart towards your toes. Exhale, melt in towards the leg. 2 more times. Inhale, lift up, reach through your heart. And exhale, melt in towards your leg. 1 more time. Inhale, lift up, lengthen, and fold. Good. Inhale, shift forward. Bend your left knee. Tuck your right toes. And send your left leg all the way up to the sky through 3-legged dog. Lower your left foot down to meet the right. Downward facing dog. Full breath in and full breath out. Okay, now let's slowly lower our knees down towards the earth. We're going to do a little bit of core work. So take your hands by your knees. Tops of the feet root down and towards the mat. And as you inhale in, begin to curl your knees towards your chest, arch and coil, and then lower your knees. Take your hands back by your toes, lift your heart, shoulders back, look up to the sky. So let's do that just 2 to 3 more times. Shift forward, hands by your knees, coil in, lift your knees up towards your chest, and lower your knees down. Hands come all the way back towards your toes. Lift your heart, shoulders back, look up. And then shift back forward, hands by your knees. Coil up and in. And release those knees down. Hands by the toes. Lift your heart, shoulders back. Last round. Shift forward, hands by those knees. Coil in, use your core, tuck your chin. And lower those knees down. Hands come back by your toes. Lift through your heart, shoulders back. Good. Now we're going to come forward. Come to standing on your knees. We're going to move into Camel Pose. So we've already come into smaller variations of this pose in class. For this one, tuck your tailbone down, pull your low belly in. Knees are hips width distance. As you inhale, lift up through your shoulders, scrunch them up toward your ears, and then open them down your back. Let your palms face forward. Keep that tuck of your tailbone as you open your chest forward. So you could stay right here as you lift your heart towards the sky and kind of open up through the arms, shoulders down and away. Another option would be to take your hands to your lower spine, shoulders roll down and away, elbows point back. Keep that tuck of your tailbone so your lower core pulls up and in. Lift through your heart, deep breath. Press your heart towards the sky as you press your hips forward, shoulders back. Lift through your heart, lift through slightly through your chin. Imagine that there's a pillow behind you resting. Now, if you are used to doing Camel Pose, this is in your practice day to day, you can even take your hands down to your ankles or your calves and press your hips forward, heart towards the sky. Continue to lift up through your heart. Always use your core when you come out of this pose. Come straight back up with that tailbone tucked, using that inner core. When you're ready, come all the way up and gently sit back on your heels. Take your knees together, palms face down on your thighs. Deep breath in through the nose. Maybe even exhale out the mouth to let it go. A lot of times those back bends can cause your heart rate to go up just a little bit, and that's normal. We're getting a lot of energy through the body. We're bringing up a lot of things, so just breathe into it, deep breath. Good. Now let's inhale, reach our arms up towards the sky. Palms together, cross your thumbs. Reach up, create length, but relax your shoulders down. Lift up through those fingertips. Use your core. Slowly hinge forward. Try not to touch the earth until the whole body comes all the way down. Reach through those fingertips. Keep your arms engaged. So you want to keep your hands together and your elbows locked out. Not completely locked, but lengthen through your arms. Ears are by your biceps. Deep breath in, activate those arms. And now use your core, try to come up as one unit. So inhale, pull your core in, ground through your shins and rise up. Keep your ears by your biceps all the way up. Nice job. Hands by your sides. Shift to either side of your hips and extend your legs out long in front of you. Scoot to the top of your mat. Bend your knees. Reach your arms out on either side and slowly take your time. Come all the way down onto your back. Heels towards your hips. And let's come into reclined pigeon. Good. Inhale, reach your right leg up towards the sky. Flex your right foot. Take your right ankle to the top of your left thigh. Use your right hand to press your right knee away. And you could stay right here if this is feeling nice and good through the low back. If you want more in that hip, hands will come and interlace around the left hamstring. Keep those shoulders relaxed down your back. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Good, now gently release that left foot. Keep your right leg how it is. Scoot your hips to the center of the mat if they're not already. Take your arms out by your sides, palms face up, and just take your right foot down towards the earth, taking into a little bit different of a twist. So you should feel it a bit more through that right side. A little bit into the shin. Good, inhale back through center. Ground through that left foot. Inhale, extend your right leg to the sky, or right foot lowers down. Left leg rises up to the sky. Bend your left knee and take that left ankle to the top of your right thigh. Left hand places on the inside of your left knee, and you can just press that leg away. So this is a nice stretch right here. This might be where you stay. If you want to come into a reclined pigeon, and take your hands to interlace around that right hamstring. Thread the needle. Relax those shoulders down on the earth and begin to pull your right leg towards your chest a little bit more so you get a deeper stretch through the piriformis, the outer hip, the glutes. Deep breath here. Deep breath out. Softly release your right foot down. Keep your left leg as it is. And we're going to twist to the right this time. So take the sole of your left foot down towards the earth. Sorry, Bradley. Take your arms out by your sides and twist. You should feel a nice stretch through that left hip. Deep breath in and exhale out. Let's come back up through center. Ground that right foot down. Make sure your hips are centered. Extend your left leg to the sky. Lower your left foot down to the earth. Hug your knees in towards your chest. Give them a squeeze. And now let's extend our left leg forward. Grab a hold of the outer blade of your right foot. Let your knee come to the outer right side of your rib cage for a half happy baby. So really pull that right knee down, flex your right foot, getting deep into those hips and even into the shoulders as they plant down in towards the earth. Your left hand can stay on your left hip, press it down to really emphasize that opening through the inner thigh. One more big breath here, pull down through that right knee. And then release, hug both knees towards your chest. Extend your right leg long. Hug your left knee towards your heart. Take your left hand to grab a hold of the left outer blade of your foot. Take your right hand to your right hip. Begin to pull that left knee down on the outer left rib cage. Sole of the left foot shines towards the sky as you pull that left knee down. Open through those hips. Keep the low back grounded. Keep the shoulders grounding down. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Good. Gently release that left foot. Hug both knees in towards your chest. And we're coming into full happy baby. So take your hands, grab a hold of the outer blades of your feet. Hug those knees to the outer edges of your rib cage as you pull those knees down along the outsides of your side waist. Let your shoulders press down towards your mat. And you can even sway side to side, open and massage through the low back. Keep your shoulders pressing down, soles of the feet shine to the sky. Deep breath here. Good, and exhale, release those feet, hug your knees deep in towards your chest, take your forehead all the way up towards your knees. Big breath in, squeeze into a tiny little ball. Now as you exhale, let your legs go, let your arms go, let your palms face up towards the sky. Close your eyes here. As you come into this final meditative state, Shavasana, allow yourself to get as comfortable as you need. So maybe if that blanket is nearby, go ahead and grab it. If that pillow is nearby and it would feel nice underneath the knees for some support, or underneath the head or the low back. Get as comfortable as you need to be able to let completely go. Feel a melting sensation through the body. Let the breath come and go naturally. Release all control. Let the thoughts just flow freely in and out through the mind. Not becoming attached, but rather just letting them come and go. If you have the gift of time and you would love to stay right here, please, I encourage you, stay in Shavasana as long as you can or as you need. If you do need to move about with your day, begin to do so gently, quietly, by starting a gentle wiggle of the toes, of the fingers. And let yourself, in whichever way naturally arises, to roll off to one side or the other, or even just rock yourself softly up into an easy seated position. Once you do come into an easy seat, keep your eyes closed and allow yourself to just notice the peace that you've created in your body and your mind, your spirit. Take your hands to heart center and let's honor that light that dwells within each and every one of us. Namaste. So thank you so much for practicing with me, and I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you want to see in class by leaving a comment or send me a message on my Instagram at Katie Marie Yoga. And don't forget, hit that subscribe button if you liked what you see here. If you want to see more, support the page. I really appreciate all of your support and joining in with me. It's really fun to hear back from you guys. So always let me know what you want to see, and I'll be here on Sunday in a couple days. All right, see you later.